Combustion.
Whoa, 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 whoa. They running the game with my team making plays. Talking 80, my G, Swan and Jules in this place. Surrounded by dogs, keep the quarterback safe. I'm the one with the plans, they gon' do what I say. The game is not over, we don't celebrate in the end zone. We don't got no time in the wait. H-time run down, we don't premeditate. We just go and get to it, we got them on skates. If the game going to overtime, kicking the overdrive, we gon' be first at the finish line. Play looking full, but I finish mine. Can I get second? We gon' line up like it's dinner time. We put in work till we get us a ring. Super Bowl season, we running the scene. H-time the home of the realest that breathe. Keep your face down when you talk to the king.
What up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the H-Time Rundown. This is your boy, AD, and I got my co-hosts in the building. We got Mike G, we got Jules, and we got Auntie Swan in the building. How's everybody doing on this wonderful new league year Wednesday?
Doing well.
Going good. What's swarming?
Man, you swarming? Big
Look,
swarm, little swarm.
I'm swarming. I'm just congested, but I'm swarming.
Hey, so y'all already know it's the start of the league year. Houston Texans have been busy. Houston Texans have made a myriad of moves. Look at that. Plethora of moves lately. And, you know, they've done some things that have got the people talking.
Right.
Got the people wondering what the hell is going on over there at NRG. You know, we got a lot to talk about, man, today. Houston Texans, Jules, if you don't turn them goddamn notifications off on the damn computer, this is you every week, damn notification. But yes, the Houston Texans have made a complete overhaul of this roster. Even they brought some people back. They've gotten rid of big name players as well. So we were going to talk about it, and I will start, really with the biggest of them all is the Houston Texans right here, y'all. They traded star, Pro Bowler, no eyebrows.
Oh, wow.
Leader of the offensive line.
That's not true.
Laremy Tunsil. And the 2025 fourth-round pick to the Washington Commanders for a 2025 third and seventh-round pick, as well as a 2026 second and fourth-round picks. All right, here we go. What are y'all thoughts? I got a lot to say, but I'm going to let y'all talk about it.
Go ahead, Mike. What you got?
Yeah, I got a lot to say. I think it was I don't know if it was AD or Barrett who started that trade Tunsil, which started, I want to say, probably about a year ago. It was like maybe a year and a half ago.
That was like 2 years ago.
Well, really pushing it on the podcast,
right?
Probably a year and a half ago, something like that. And we're like, come on now. And obviously he's talented, he's getting up there a little bit. Leader in quotations. Very talented, excellent pass protector, but not exactly embracing the swarm mindset. Wasn't by far our best lineman. Nobody can refute that. But was he going to be a big part of the future? That really, the pushback is, hold up, we didn't get a first-round pick, and we did get a second-round pick, but it's next year.
Right.
I will, after a little more reflection, I will say I don't mind having that second-round pick for next year in our back pocket for a couple of reasons. One, this draft class isn't great by recent standards. Now, you can always find gems. Teams, the Eagles, the Rams, and we will find gems in this class. But next year's class probably going to be better overall. And every year, there's teams that are, whether they're tanking on purpose or they're just bad, and they can't win. You get towards the mid-season, close to that trade deadline, and they're shopping players who are pretty good that could help a team that's almost there. They could almost take out the Chiefs, take out the Bills, take out the Ravens, take out the Eagles. And having that second-round pick in your back pocket to be able to make that move if you need it is kind of sweet. So I think, we're really looking ahead here, skipping over some steps. But if we're in that position, I could see a big trade coming down for a team that's bad and a player that wants to get out of that bad situation. So overall, definitely not what we wanted in terms of trade value for this year's draft class, but maybe Nick's thinking a few steps ahead.
Well, I guess if it had been all in one draft class or this draft coming up, probably make people more happy. But we all had the same situation. It's not we get all these picks this year. It's the combination of but if you put the package together, it's 4 picks.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not a bad. It's not a bad haul. What you got, Swan?
Hi there. So for me, I love the trade. Uh, Vikings game last year, I actually wanted him benched, and that C snatched off his chest. Uh, I was very disappointed because I had high hopes. I was one of those that was pounding the table. It was dumb, stupid, crazy. What the hell is wrong with you? Wanting to trade the left tackle, blah blah blah. Yeah, we know he false start. He half-ass run block, but CJ's blind side is protected, so that's what I was willing to live with. Uh, but wearing that C, I had an expectation, even though the scheme had its issues, there was coaching issues, of the effort, uh, what I expected him to do as with a C on your chest is to gather these guys and say, okay, it is what it is. But we still got to do our jobs. We got to try to do the best we can. We can't be letting CJ get blown up. There was no accountability, and we talked about this in previous podcasts regarding that. So for me, I look at the defense, and everybody on that defense has a mentality of we're all a brotherhood. We in this. It's like two separate teams, and I want to give Kaylee and Popovich what they need. I don't want to keep trying to make someone fit uh, a mindset that's not them. So the compensation, I'm fine with because of his salary. I knew he was going to take on a little bit more. So if we're doing that, you're not going to get such high picks. But that second next year, which I don't think we'll have because Nick is draft happy. I mean, trade happy. So that second round pick can help us move back into certain rounds. So to me, it still has value. Um, but the trade overall, I'm fine with. Um, so that's just my opinion on that.
So I'll go ahead and go next. So since Eddie has a lot to say about it, so my thing was more about the untapped potential and effort this one player had, and as being your highest paid player on the team, you do have a level of expectations and responsibility as being the quote unquote the best person and the highest paid person on your team, and to help fill the gaps and just the mistakes that your core and your team and your section is messing up, and it never seemed like he cared enough to make sure everybody who follows him on his line meets his talent level. Now, when it comes to talent, and I've said before, his talent and skill level, he should be in a conversation as an All Pro. His technique and why he do things and what he brought to the table come out of college. He should have been talked about as one of the best of all time. That's how high of a talent he has. And me and Swan used to have conversations about Clowney and JJ. Clowney was just gifted. He didn't work hard enough to get it. And that's how I put the same thing in Tussum. Tussum was gifted and size wise and length wise, as we all seen the blind side when the lady was describing what's a perfect left tackle. It's total size, speed, and length, all that included. But there was no heart behind it. There was no effort to be the best. No one. I'm gonna put this team in my back. I'm gonna show responsibility. It was like, hey man, I'm gonna do my thing. And we always called him mercenary for the last 6 years because how he did his contracts. It's about the money. So I've been wanting him traded for a long time. Just because I think I did say it was a better value with Trent Tunsil. And I think that once you realize if you just put it into a vacuum, the amount of picks you got, whether it's this year or next year, you got value for them.
Mhm.
And now you just got to figure out what's the plan after that. And I think that's another reason people are hesitant to really get on board. Even national media talking about it's the Dan Orlovsky. Our biggest weakness is our line. Then you trade our best player. Yes, he's our best player, but is he the best player for this team to go forward?
Mhm.
Clearly, it wasn't.
So, Brandon, to your point, what you're saying, he made a comment. He said, "So when the Chiefs trade their best offensive linemen, they are smart, making cap space, paying the young guys, building for the future. But when the Texans do it, they are idiots."
Yes
Um,
and no. Yes and no, because they get criticized for letting Orlando Brown go that couple of years. They didn't want, oh, you're gonna get Pat Mahomes killed. They went through it first, but when they shown that they could coach up and put players in a situation, people were like, oh, okay, well, we'll let you go. We'll let
But
you
they
go.
didn't get slammed the same way. It was questioned, but then immediately it went to, oh, but it's Andy Reid.
Right.
It's
Mhm.
Brett Veach. So you kind of excused it, but we don't have that luxury. We haven't won, so we don't get benefit of the doubt.
There you
Whereas
go.
other teams, like let's use the Eagles, they can make moves. And like you said earlier, we was talking offline. With Howie, he's going to get the benefit of the doubt.
Correct.
We don't get that. I think that's where some fans get frustrated that with the national media, it is the sky is falling if we make a move that they don't agree with and we get criticized and they don't know how to let it go. Okay, you assess it, you criticize it. Okay, we're gonna move on. Instead, it's like a dog with a bone. They won't let it go, and they just make it seem like we just made the worst trade there is. Here's my thing: is if you all pundits criticized our own line all year, and we get rid of one of the guys that's on line that didn't help it to be better, wasn't that smart to move on? It's kind of like saying a bad marriage. If it ain't working, y'all need to leave. Why stay together and stay miserable together?
so you saying, Swan, Laramie Tunsil beat on the Texans and everything, but he makes so much money. He provides you with the Birkin bag. He provides the Texans with the Birkin bags and give them all the red bottoms they want and everything like that. But he beat the hell out of them every Sunday, and
No,
he still want to
I,
be.
I got another.
I would say I would say it's more or less more like a nagging spouse. It's like, okay, you don't spend time with me, you don't pay attention to me, blah blah blah. Okay, yeah. All right. Next thing you know, I'm gonna do better. Or you say you are. But then you still keep doing the same thing, and then you keep arguing about the same thing. What I'm saying is we still get frustrated. Apparently, the organization did as well with the same thing. The guy isn't going to change. He is who he is. So either you accept who he is, or you say, you know what, this is not working. Let's amicably leave. I'm gonna send you to a team that had a great season, that's on trending up like we are. That's possibly a contender because they made a championship game, and we're gonna get picks. So y'all split it up amicably. That was no. Well, some people apparently were upset. At least
I'm
one.
gonna let
But I'm
Mike
saying
go.
I just feel like it was a marriage that it wasn't violent. It's just that it just.
But as with any marriage that's not really working out, there are kids involved. And in this scenario, the kids are the other O linemen that aren't there yet. Unfortunately, Tunsil's not helping them grow. So
Right.
he's not filling that role. But what you
So,
got to do?
I'm gonna say this, man.
And one of them kids he can take with him. Sorry.
So Tunsil was had a lot of infidelity with the Houston Texans. I feel like every time he false started, he cheated on the Texans.
Oh God!
And
I'm gonna steal that one.
And that's the analogy I'm gonna use, and that's the reason why we had to go ahead and put the child support on him, and get him up out of here. But this is a good comment. He said people talking about CJ is going to be killed. Like they don't think
Like
what
6'3" sacks for a year, 8 in one game in a playoff game.
Yeah. Hold on, and he took all the money.
3 times.
But nobody want to talk about how many of them drive killers the false starts did.
Embarrassing. If you're not cheating, you're not trying.
Well, apparently he wasn't trying hard enough because
Well, he was cheating, get caught cheating.
No. Larry Payne said, for the record, I don't endorse trading the franchise left tackle, but I understand the move to change the identity of the O-line group. Additionally, I believe Casero is risking his job with this move. Larry
you
never,
think
Larry
that was
never
a
had.
D'Amico thing?
Dr. Barry, I promise you, you took the words right out.
I don't get this.
You defend all the average players all the time and don't understand. I just know what I gotta say.
Steven Sims.
Corey,
Hold on. but hate, goddamn Eric Murray.
Yeah, exactly.
For love, come on. But before
that's funny.
before we move on, because we need to move on. He said, hey family, shout out Killer Cal. Glad to have you back, brother.
Much love.
Good hearing from you. Mm-hmm. Good hearing from you. Good talking to you, man. Of course, our prayers are still with you and the family. But glad you're back in the getting the swing of things, man. So good to have you back, Killer Cal.
And it's good to hear from Larry Payton because I hadn't heard from him since Eric Murray, his favorite player, got cut or didn't get extended.
Hold on. Eric Murray was so bad he got a $7 million contract. 3 years, $22 million contract. Hey, he wasn't too bad.
And for the record, I don't endorse trading a struggling left guard for a dog safety for Philadelphia too.
We're not there yet. We're not gonna talk about that. Tulsa keeps giving teams good picks. How about the free agency? Jags overpay for Eric Murray. Yeah, I know. We're gonna talk about it. But the next thing, hold on, y'all make me happy. Is Larry franchise that okay,
let me ask this question.
Joe Thomas
Larry Payton. Okay, just put up there. Define franchise left tackle, because I think and I'm talking about outside of Houston, folks see him as pass blocking, but as people say, blocking is not solely the only thing your left tackle is supposed to do. If you're saying this person is a top 3, top 4 paid left tackle, because when he was paid as a number 1 top. A guy who is penalty prone and suspect run blocking. So there are weaknesses.
You being generous with that.
No, but I'm saying I'm not here to bash Larry. Laramie played a role. I appreciate the effort that he made in the pass blocking at times, but like I said, it was frustrating at times. But I think the final straw for some folks was the Jordans that he got signed at the Beyonce concert. Right? You weren't even in the locker room good, dude. You flashing your goddamn signed sneakers after you got your behind. You got a safety. That's why he's on the board. So I think he didn't get angry enough. I think that's what.
I still ain't said what my thoughts on Tulsa, and I'm
sorry. Go, man.
Bring some popcorn in. Yeah.
Because there's been a lot of pushback on Larry Tunsil. I along with Dr. Barrett, Corey Barrett, y'all know I'm on Twitter as Dr. Barrett. I was along with that whole sentiment before we even paid him again.
Correct.
I was in a boat of it makes sense to trade Larry Tunsil and reset. I was of the notion to not pay Tunsil, trade him away, get picks back, start Titus at left tackle. Seems like that's what the move may be. Maybe. Keyword maybe. There's been a lot of pushback amongst the reporters, amongst the media members, amongst a lot of different people defending Larry Tunsil. And they're questioning his role with the Houston Texans. Larry Tunsil is a wonderful player. Larry Tunsil is a top 5 to 7 left tackle in the NFL. Larry Tunsil has, as Jules stated before, has all the ability to do any and everything on the football field as a left tackle and to be dominant. And for me, Larry Tunsil was short of being dominant.
Correct.
With the Houston Texans. I don't think he was dominant with the Miami Dolphins. Larry Tunsil's role with the Texans has been questioned, has been talked about, and has been defended by the media members. And, shout out to a friend of the pod, especially shout out Big Sarge.
And DJ, I think Alexander too, right?
Yeah, Jonathan Alexander, DJ Bieniemy, all have defended Larry Tunsil. And I understand the personal relationships and that people have with Larry Tunsil and everything like that. But let's not get it twisted. Larry Tunsil was not a leader in that locker room. I think people get confused with what a leader is and of course, we're not privy because we're not in the locker room. But I personally don't see a guy that is cool with everybody and everybody hangs out with and everybody comes and chop it up with, that he's a leader. Just because you have a C on your chest doesn't make you a leader.
It was in the contract, though.
A leader doesn't have 17 penalties, false start penalties, and illegal procedure penalties in a season. A leader does not shy away from criticism or media members. A leader doesn't engage with people on Twitter and send your family members to check people on Twitter for talking about you. A leader stands up in front of that microphone week after week and takes accountability and plays better, and this show is more of a show person, a show me person, than a talking person. A leader doesn't skip out on all the activities during the summer. A leader doesn't halfway show up during training camp. A leader doesn't miss every preseason game. I don't think he's played a preseason game in the last 6-7 years. And he ain't been in the league but 10. So again, Larry Tunsil is by definition not a leader. And it was realized by the organization, which is why they made the move. Because again, if Larry Tunsil was so important and y'all want to talk about the cap, and that's the reason why he got traded and all that stuff, that's just along with the process. But again, if Larry Tunsil was a vital part of this team, we've seen the Browns, we've seen the Saints, we've seen all these different teams show you the cap is imaginary and that you can make shit happen regardless if you're paying certain people whatever. Larry Tunsil was not going to stop you from paying Derek Stingley. Larry Tunsil was not going to stop you from paying CJ Stroud. Paying Larry Tunsil was not going to stop you from paying Will Anderson. Was not even going to stop you from paying Jalen Petrie or Christian Harris or Kamari Lassiter or Kalen Bullock or whoever. Again, there are ways around the cap to make it work. Larry Tunsil was not a fit in that locker room for what the coaches want to establish and the culture that the coaches want to establish. So you can defend Larry Tunsil and get your brownie points and be chopping it up with him. And don't we play Washington this year? Upcoming?
I think so.
I think we play Washington this year upcoming.
No, we don't.
Oh, we don't. I'm sorry. Whenever we do.
Next year.
Well,
whenever we do. I know it'll be cool for y'all to chop
Maybe
it
the
up
Super Bowl.
Whenever, Swan, Mike, it'll be cool for y'all to chop it up with Larry Tunsil and say, "Hey, what up, man? It was good seeing you again." Oh yeah. At the end of the day, I understand relationships matter and that's important. But at the end of the day, you gotta call a spade, and it is what it is. And Barry said, I think they did it at this time because they knew people would accept that as an excuse. Mike better say Barry was right. But Brandon say this year, NFC. Oh, we do play them this year, right? I'm confused.
No.
Regardless, whatever. Regardless if we play them or not.
There you are. I see you.
There you go.
Hey, Big Sarge.
Yeah, I'm calling you out. I'm calling you out, sir. But again, Laramie Tunsil is okay. We play him in 2026. Laramie Tunsil, at the end of the day, the way the Texans are trying to reset and move, he did not fit in their plan. Really?
Oh, there you go. There you go.
You're a DI. Oh, wow.
But you're not listening. Okay.
So again, but now at the end of the day, Laramie Tunsil, they made the move and they showed you that where they're moving, the way they're moving, and the way they're moving is by making a move like this, releasing Shaq Mason,
Right.
as a post June 1st cut. Shaq Mason, again, there's a theme going around, and you know about these players. Shaq Mason was another guy that didn't fit the timeline, didn't fit what they're trying to do moving forward. You know, so there's an identity that they're trying to create, and certain players don't fit in that identity. Don't fit as a player that is a mauler, that is nasty. That is somebody that's gonna get after your ass. Again, I'm not in the locker room. I'm not privy to those private conversations. But I'm a person that if I'm gonna talk, I'm gonna say it to you behind closed doors. I'm gonna say it out loud too.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it to your face out loud. Laramie Tunsil, I know he didn't want to get on the microphone. But if you chastising and you calling motherfuckers out in the locker room, call their ass out on the microphone in public. That's what leaders do. Ain't no such thing as a silent leader.
Mm-hmm.
Or you don't accept accountability and you put it on the officials. Yes, officials make mistakes, but dude, everybody is watching. Every time that flag goes up, what's the first thing we think? Is it Laramie? Is it a false start?
Yeah.
Procedure. I mean, you hold your breath because you're waiting. Because the moment they say false start, you know who they're gonna call. 99 out of 10 out of 100, you think it's Laramie.
So I'm gonna say this again, Sarge. I understand that's what the notes and the reasons they want to put out there, because they don't want to talk bad about Laramie, or they don't want to put Laramie in a bad light. Yeah. But again, the cap is imaginary, and I see it, and you see it all the time. Teams can work around it and make it work.
Well,
I will say this. Let me say this. If they wanted Laramie Tunsil that bad, they would have made it work.
That is true.
So
you could have converted salary and turned it to signing bonus.
Laramie would have been retired a Texan if they wanted Laramie that bad.
Put Sarge's comment on there. I do agree. It had to do with Laramie's salary. He has never lived up to the salary that Texas gave him. As the franchise guy on this squad, as the highest paid player on this team, and even Shaq Mason. Shaq Mason was traded and given an extension within weeks of being traded for. So they put faith in these guys, not only by trading for you, getting you to camp, but also financially supporting you, your family, and everyone else. Yep. They did not live up to what the contract of what the Texans gave you to be the best players possible for this team and for the financial extensions that three of the 5 O-line players that received extensions within 2 years didn't live up to the billing of having the highest paid O-line in the NFL and not giving the results for it. So if I'm not getting the results of making you the highest paid or the third highest paid salary left tackle for my money, I'm not. Your salary. Okay, you can go then. I have to find somewhere else because I've rewarded you for your skill set, but I needed more from you because I made you the face of this franchise. Because who else made the franchise? We'd have been through two quarterbacks. We've been head coaches, running back, receivers for that. Tunsil's been here almost as long as anybody else.
Mhm.
Tunsil has been our best player as long as we can remember since he's been on this team. But financially, he has. But as a player, he doesn't cut it, and they can't go forward with a player not living up to their expectations of the opponents.
So
And
sorry.
there are two other things that bothered me, concerned me, was we keep talking about how he was the most highly paid along with Shaq Mason on that O line. It also put us in a position where these guys felt comfortable they couldn't be benched because who is behind me? Look what you're paying me. So it was difficult to hold guys accountable. The other issue I had, and like I said, it began with the Vikings game, and I felt it was going to happen, and it did. You can be a leader, and we can use our regular work life. We have bad leaders in our organizations where we work at. Just because you have a title, just because you get a certain salary, and we make the comments, that person is an idiot, or that person doesn't put in the work. How in the hell did they get that role? Why are they blah, 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 blah. We can go on and on. I will say he probably was a leader. He was just a bad leader. Now, the players don't think he's a bad leader. The results on the field. So he may be he may be the best buddy to Titus and a lot of the guys. So I will not question what his relationship is. What I would say is what y'all say y'all did in practice did not reflect it on the field in game. So there's a disconnect. And like I said, you can blame scheme, you can blame coaching for some of it, but the effort, that's on you. You've been in the league, like you said, 9 years. Titus has been in the league 6 years. Shaq Mason, 10 plus. 3 guys on that O line, and we have young guys. What are you teaching them? Because they're going to learn by example.
Right.
So if you are half-assing it and not being accountable, what are you instilling in the young guys? And I think that's the other concern was I can't get this team where I needed to go with young guys when I got these so-called leaders, vets, that had his mindset that does not reflect who I am. And D'Amico is very serious about that. What he wants.
So I'm gonna put this up and then we're gonna move on. Sorry, I'm just gonna say okay because I know what I was talking about. Close source in the building. True, they're trying to get younger, but cutting salary and getting draft picks was one of the main factors. So
can I ask this question real quick to Sarge? And he could put the answer up there and we can continue. Are you saying that they did not recognize that the performance and the leadership on the field was not reflecting what they were saying behind closed doors? And then we can continue.
So, you know, a lot of things to me. If you wanted to move salary and get picks, then you trade Titus Howard. If one of the main factors was cutting salary, then you get rid of Titus. Then you move on from Titus Howard because he's right behind Tunsil, and he's considered the lesser of the player between him and Larry Tunsil. But like there's other avenues that they could have done. Again, cut salary. If Tunsil is one of your mainstays and one of your guys, and he's the guy, you restructure that contract. You make sure that he's going to be affordable and everything like that. We see it all the time. We've seen it multiple times. And again, once you open that bank of CJ, you can restructure that contract and you'll have cap space for years and years and years. We see it with Patrick Mahomes. We seen it with Dak Prescott. We seen it with all these quarterbacks that sign those big contracts, those 50, 60. CJ probably going to get 60 plus $70 million a year, damn near. And Deshaun Watson is another one with the Cleveland Browns. There's ways that you can afford Laremy Tunsil and still pay Derek Stingley and still pay Will Anderson and do all of what you need to do. So I understand that's the motive that they want to put out there. And again, the Texans are great at protecting their players and protecting their former players. You don't hear the Texans talking shit about players or putting out these articles or nasty rumors about the players. You know, they do it to the Jack Easterbees of the world, and they do it to the Bobby Slowiks of the world, but you rarely see them do that to the players of the world. So I'm gonna move on because in the same sentiment, the comment, you know, the things that happen with the offensive line just keep coming. Like the Texans traded, you know, my boy Kenyon Green. Kenyon Green and the 2026 fifth round pick got traded to the Philadelphia Eagles for safety CJ Gardner-Johnson and a 2026 sixth round pick. So we did a pick swap in 2026 and we got CJ Gardner-Johnson for Kenyon Green. Kenyon Green was another one that was lamented amongst the fan base because of his play. You know, people didn't believe in him. Some people didn't want him from the get-go. Some people wanted goddamn Kyle Hamilton. Some people wanted Jalen Carter. Was not Jalen Carter, I'm sorry, Jordan Davis. Some people wanted
Lindenbaum.
whatever. They wanted any and everybody but Kenyon Green. I will say this. As a Kenyon Green truther, I firmly believe that Kenyon Green being in that room, that offensive line room, the leadership that they have in that offensive line room, Jeff Scoutland as the offensive line coach, Kenyon Green has the potential, and I'll be the first to say Kenyon Green will be a Pro Bowler with the Philadelphia Eagles. So, and my
turn the mic off, bro. Turn the mic off. Just because y'all and them brothers don't mean you got to go on that route.
Again, it goes deeper than A&M. Like I said, Kenyon Green from my part of town. Kenyon Green's parents, you know, hey, they from the hood that I'm from. So the area that I'm from as well. So I know it's deep ties with Kenyon Green. And I'm proud of Kenyon Green for getting a fresh start. And like Larry said, he is getting a fresh start. And again, Texan Tangent is best for Kenyon and for us. And again, the offensive line, you have removed 3 of the 5 starters from at the beginning of the year. Kenyon Green, Shaq Mason, and Laremy Tunsil were starters on this offensive line.
And Howard might be moving, so that's 4.
Yeah, right. And so you've moved on from 3 of the 5 starters on your offensive line, potentially more. So again, the sentiment is we don't like the way this direction that this offensive line and the attitudes that are in this room are. Not saying that Kenyon Green had a bad attitude, but we can tell Shaq Mason and Laremy Tunsil care more about the shoes on their feet and the clothes they put on pregame than what the hell they were doing on the offensive line in the game. Again, Sal CJ GJ baby. Great trade for the Houston Texans. You get a player, and I think we all were talking safety. We were talking about safety. Jules is so happy because Jules damn near busted a nut after we traded for CJ Gardner-Johnson.
Oh my Lord.
You ain't got my business out there, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I remember texting Jules saying, hey, you know, if it lasts more than 4 hours, please seek medical attention. But and you got another crash shot. Just seeing Kamari and CJ out there. And then you got Taylor that can be a crash out too. Sting the only, you know, level-headed one out there, but them 3 on that field gonna be funny.
Oh, we gonna get a couple fights.
You know, when I turned off the screen for half a second, I went to go get a prop, and
Oh,
I
hello.
was gonna say, "Hey, Jules, I got a tissue for you, you know, because I know you're upset. We got a safety.
What are you using that tissue for?
But now the tissue is taking a turn.
Please don't put no lotion up there.
I don't know where we're going with this podcast right now. It's turned.
He started with the
It's turned.
busting whatever.
Yeah.
But I am very excited because I've always said this the secondary needed a little veteran leadership who actually played on is going to play a full season, hopefully, knock on wood, and also give them some leadership because we are still very young, and allows Bullock to be that free safety, that's center fielder to play over top of everybody, and I think that's just a great thing for this offense, for the defense, and I could always compare it to having a Troy Polamalu and a Ryan Clark. You have your power, you have your strong safety that can play around the box and hit, but also you have that free safety that don't go on top of nobody, and that's what I always wanted for the secondary.
So we got a little breaking news. I'm gonna go ahead and play the little sound effect. Well, never mind.
Lotion. Wow, bro.
No.
Oh, wow.
No. Actually, the Texans just signed a defensive end.
Well, Penny, you've been using it a lot. That tube been through a lot right
Damn,
there.
it's right next to you, brother. Damn.
It was a cold
win.
It was a cold win. No, we get ashy. No,
all
get ashy.
laid back. You know,
Hey, let me niggas get ashy too, okay?
So
you know, when you're working it too much, y'all.
Let me say this. Breaking news: Houston Texans signing defensive end Casey Toohill to a 1-year deal. Not familiar with his game, so y'all.
I do pre-draft. I do not post-draft. So.
Where'd he come from?
Stanford.
He played with the Bills last year.
Team.
He played with the Bills last year.
Okay, thank you. I'm gonna get my money.
Yeah, with that dictator chair, that's what's been going on. All right.
So yeah, that is the news right now. Yeah, I'm just reading around, but yeah, he played with the Commanders. He played with the Bills last year. So he is a new Texan.
Yeah.
That's the depth piece. That's another depth piece. Texans are signing, but Jules, like you said, that's one of however many we needed to sign in all season.
We need 20 more.
We need 20 more. Houston sports fans say he was pretty productive with the Bills. Larry says it's a camp body. Goddamn, what negative again, Larry? Come on,
here we go.
If it's on offense, I would say maybe camp body, but on defense, when it comes to D'Amico, you just don't know.
So right now, the Texans brought back, and I'll put the graphic back down here at the bottom of what the Texans have brought back. They've re-signed, the Derek Barnett. They re-signed Dario Gumbawale, Jake Hansen, the linebacker, Mario Edwards, the D tackle, MJ Stewart, the safety, and Kurt Heinisch, the defensive tackle. And they also, we needed Foley, but they also familiar face. They brought back Sheldon Rankins, 1 year, $7 million deal. They also brought in defensive end Darrell Taylor for a 1 year, $5 million deal. I think that Darrell Taylor is a sleeper. Edge, I think that he's going to be very, very productive for the Texans. And he's a guy that I'm really looking forward to watching. I know we want to touch on the CJ Gardner-Johnson trade and what it means, but y'all go ahead and give y'all thoughts on that, because I know we can get a little all over the place. But I do want to announce the rest of those players that we've signed before we move on to CJ. Lincoln Tomlinson, we signed a guard with the Jets last year, former San Francisco 49er, for 1 year, $5 million. We've also signed wide receivers Braxton Berrios for a 1 year, $2 million deal, as well as Justin Watson, wide receiver formerly with the Chiefs. Braxton Berrios, formerly with the Miami Dolphins. Justin Watson to a 1 year, $3.4 million contract. We brought back a lot of familiar faces. We've signed back Traymon Smith.
For some money, too.
2 years, $7.5 million. I think it's $4.5 million guaranteed. He is replacing the special team. He's a special teams player.
I think the last
know,
two guys are special team players.
I mean, come on. This guy here is a special teams player, Nick Neiman. 1 year, $4.5 million. A lot of people saying he's replacing Neville Hewitt.
Yeah,
which I can see that as well. They're lightening up this roster. If you get what I'm saying, with Nick Neiman, Braxton Darius, and Justin Watson, you know they're lighting it up. You know they're
you said the pigmentation is
getting
a little bit brighter.
We got a couple of on the same day. We got a couple of DEI hires at the wide receiver position.
So at this point, those are the signings that the Texans have made. Of course, with the signing of Tuhill, if I'm saying his name right.
Yeah, I remember him pre-draft.
So, let's talk about it. What do y'all? Let's go back to CJ Gardner-Johnson. What are your thoughts on CJ lightening up the wide receiver room? Hey, we gotta stop it, man, because people are saying I'm racist, and I'm not racist. People, I'm not racist. Not racist. Scuffle on the basketball court. Oh, they fighting. Oh, they all fighting. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, shit.
Fighting?
Oh, shit. They all fighting. Was that Steven Adams?
Oh, you talking about your little Rockets?
Go ahead, Swan. What's your take on?
Hold on. Oh, they took him to the ground.
Phoenix, yeah.
Oh, shit.
Wow. I actually like the move. CJ definitely embodies the swarm mentality and then some.
Yeah.
I like the leadership that I feel he'll bring to the room.
Mm-hmm.
He's young. Technically, we have him under control for 2 years, but I would expect, depending upon how he plays this year, he would get a Nick Caceres special next year. I mean, that's just how it is. I mean, let's just be honest. Typically, you're not going to have a guy play on his last year if he performs well. So,
oh shit, they both got ejected. Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Can you focus on the podcast, sir?
Hey.
As the host.
So yes, I am looking forward to us having an official no-fly zone for real. And I will say this, and I really do like him. But the less I see him on the field, I will be happy. But Jules' favorite person, Mr. Jimmy Ward. I feel very good now that if he's not out there, I'm not out there going like, oh my gosh, we're screwed. I think he also will help Jalen Petrie as well. So even though he plays the quote unquote box safety linebacker kind of role, he still needs some learning, some teaching, some instruction. I think CJ can help him with that. So I see it all as positive. I don't see any negatives that come with it. And he was on the Super Bowl team, and they had number dogs on that. I'm not talking about the school, but I mean literally. So he understands what it takes. And I don't think he's going to allow those guys to be happy, especially our rookies. Kamari and Kalen to sit back and say, yeah, y'all had a great season as rookies. Y'all definitely outperformed the expectation of what y'all were going to do your first year. But, that's not going to be good enough. If we go get over this hump, this is what y'all going to have to do. I think he will stay on them. And I think they're going to respect him enough to, take his advice.
Right. He's playing
Negro.
I'm sorry. My computer died. I'll put you on mute. How about
again? Sorry about the lack of preparation, people. But go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, I don't think you'll really find anyone here who's not pleased with the deal. Obviously, wanted Kenny Green to work out, and it just wasn't going to work out here. Yeah, but shout out to Yvonne tuning in.
Yvonne.
Is it Yvonne?
No, it's Yvonne, but Big John called her Yvonne.
Damn. All right. Is that another Blue Boy Fine situation?
No, hell no. Why would you say that? But that's Big John. That's what Big John called Yvonne.
Oh, okay.
That's his go-to.
Yeah. Very pleased with the trade. Kenny Green might work out in Philly with a legendary O-line coach, but so it's good he gets an opportunity there. But we get a dog, we get a swarmer at safety, and some of y'all may have seen on Twitter immediately after the trade, Eagles fans on a space lost their minds.
They did.
And we had some Texans folks in there. We had RG Mike, we had Brian, we had Bishop in there trolling the hell out of him, which was great. Yeah, I mean this secondary truly is a Legion of Boom. With Lassiter, with Stingley, with Petrie, with CJ, with Bullock, like good luck throwing on them. And just like we were talking about with the O-line, lacking that swarm. This secondary's got abundance of it. So a plethora, as some would say. So really happy with the value. And I mean, hell, we're not even paying him more than what we're paying Kenny Green. So Swan, what you got?
Scuffed up black Air Force Ones. Going to Johnson. I think Swan gave her opinion.
Okay. I didn't know if she had any more to add. All right.
Go ahead, AD.
I mean, at the end of the day, I like me a good dog on the defense side of the ball. CJ Gardner-Johnson is a great player, underrated player, I think. I think he kind of got undervalued with Philly amongst outside of Philly, because Philadelphia, they adored CJ Gardner-Johnson. They loved him. And they would love to, they wanted to keep him. So, but again, CJ Gardner-Johnson is only 27 years old. CJ Gardner-Johnson still has another contract left in him. And I think that he's definitely going to be a part of the Texans, going forward. I think that he kind of solidifies a hole that everybody was talking about. That was talking about Hufanga, who got what? Didn't he get $15 million? He got $15 million per year. Javon Howland got $15 million per year. And I'm not saying that he's those guys. But I do feel like CJ Gardner-Johnson can float around in that territory with those guys, and we're only paying him $4.5 million cap hit. So definitely think it's a great get for the Houston Texans. Personally sad, like I said, sad to see Kenyon go, but glad he's going to where he's going so that he has an opportunity to be successful in Philadelphia. They've made a many offensive linemen, and they've helped a many offensive linemen get paid. So Kenyon Green, shout out to Kenyon Green. Wish the best of luck to you. But again, I'm a Houston Texan fan, so I love the move. Love the move for the Texans. So, speaking of moves for the Texans, they also made another move that we have not talked about, that I have been speaking on for a month now, and nobody wanted to give me credit on talking about this guy that we got for damn near nothing, and that's goddamn Christian Kirk.
I mean, damn, that $16 million is not damn near nothing now.
We gave up. I'm talking about we got him. We got him for the compensation that we gave up. We gave up a 2026 7-round pick for Christian Kirk, a throwaway pick, and we got Christian Kirk, a guy that I've been kind of asking for a while. How much? Yeah, he got $22 million, 3-year, $22 million deal for Eric Murray, and he's making less than CJ Gardner-Johnson.
Or making more,
huh?
Making more, right?
Yeah, I mean CJ's making less. We're going to witness the most unnecessary roughness calls, and I'm okay with that.
We're gonna have some scuffles.
Oh yeah,
send
a message.
We some head busters. We'll call a hater out. We some head busters. He said, "Thank you, Jacksonville." Yeah, Jacksonville being Jacksonville, they do dumb shit all the time.
That's the player you want to get rid of. Okay. Man.
Look, I can't wait for Christian Kirk to get on Eric Murray, and that's gonna make my day. But I want to hear y'all thoughts, because I love this. This blessed my soul when we traded for Christian Kirk. I've been calling and asking for Christian Kirk for a month now. I love it. We just got rid of one egg and added another one, so I'm happy.
I mean, it's a solid pickup. I mean, we did it. We did need two receivers because we have both our second and third, no matter how you put them, are both on IR, and went to surgery and going to rehabbing. So it feels a need. He had some histories, injuries, but when he was productive, and we see him be productive against us, he's a very good wide receiver too. And it's a good fit for. He's going to play in the slot mostly for us, and I think he's going to open up these routes and open. CJ has a little bigger catch radius, so he can be a better passer. So I like the pick. I thought it was a good solid pickup. You're not paying him unearthly money like you would for like T. Higgins and all these other top receivers that were supposed to be in free market. So you got one of the best ones available, either trade or buy for agency.
Yeah. Swan?
Yeah, so I love the signing as well. And like you said, we needed a slot guy to replace. Yeah, he's been nicked up a few times last couple of years, but I think it was 2022 is where he had 1,300 plus yards receiving. So I'm looking for that presence that we have truly missed last year, which would have been helpful. Money wise, it's the same amount of money. Technically, we would have been paying Diggs, and he's younger. He hasn't lost a step. It's just more or less him staying healthy.
Right.
So if he can give me at least 13 games and make sure you're there for playoffs, I'll live with that. I mean, my wide receiver one don't play a full season either, so it is what it is. But I just hope we have a better success rate when it comes to not going through a bunch of injuries on our wide receivers. I think this will also, if he is still on the team, because at this point, quite a few folks are iffies to me at this moment. It should push Mechie as well, because now that's your role that we thought that was going to be you, and somebody we're paying $16 million for is going to be on that field. So you got to fight to be on the field. So you got to really show something, in camp, in preseason, to earn that roster spot, because nothing is guaranteed. Because it appears as though D'Amico and Nick are saying, you know what, we can cut bait. It is what it is. We just want to make sure we got the right kind of guys on here. So I think that will push Mechie some if he's still here.
Look. I think Mechie,
and I do want him to be here.
Yeah, Mechie. I think Mechie. It'll take a lot for Mechie not to be here. I think you look at Braxton Berrios they brought in. He's more of a return guy. Kind of like the white Steven Sims. If you want to, put it more in reference for what
better.
Yeah, like I'm talking about as far as his role would be.
Right.
Yeah. He's a little bit of a gadget guy too.
Yeah, he's a gadget guy, like Mike is saying. Justin Watson is a sleeper guy. I think he would be somebody that would make the roster, and would be kind of productive in those roles. I think it's funny again as far as role. He's the white Robert Woods for this team. If you want to talk about roles,
Xavier, or what we were hoping Xavier Hutchinson would be.
Yeah, that too. And then of course, Cooper Kupp has been released. So I mean, does Nick pull that trigger out his hat?
I don't have a problem pulling the trigger if it's reasonable, because all coaches do it. You bring in a guy that knows your system. I mean, so it'd be an easier transition. It just needs to be financially needs to make sense. I'm just gonna be honest. So if you can make the numbers work, I have no problem with Cooper Kupp being on this team.
Yeah,
I'll say this: if we do make that Cooper Kupp pickup, and I'm not against it. I will say the New England allegations influence will just creep up even more. I mean, having 3 white receivers that we just added.
Okay.
But
If
and
I give you a Super Bowl out of it,
oh hell
I
yeah,
could be
yeah,
New.
take
I
it
could
every
be
day.
New England, Texas, South, whatever name you want to call it.
I will say Christian Kirk is more of a slot guy. Obviously, he can make plays on the outside, but in recent years, he's been more of a slot guy. Same goes for Cooper Kupp. So, I don't know why Steve.
I know you love it, Larry.
I love it, AD White Stevens.
But
Well, we want him to be a better version.
Correct.
yeah, it runs forward, not backwards.
Horizontal.
No fumbles. But I mean, and on the Kirk topic overall, I'm glad we got him. It is a little side topic. I know I ran like 3 polls in the last few weeks. One of them was, hey, which free agent or soon to be trade target should we go after? I put Kirk in that poll. Which OC target? I had Nick Haley in that one. And then I had Sheldon Rankins right before we went and got him. Hey, should we target him? So if y'all got any draft prospects y'all want the Texans to be looking at, just ask me to put them in a poll. We'll be looking at him,
All right, scout department.
Now you know who we didn't resign. I was very happy, and that was the spin doctor. I was so happy when he got picked up somebody else. Yeah, when he got picked up somewhere else, I was like, "Whoa, thank you."
Somebody said earlier that they want him back because he fit the scheme and the system. We traded away because he didn't fit the system. What are we talking about?
Yeah, Spin Master Malik went to the Cleveland Browns on a $10 million a year contract, 2 year, 2-year, $20 million contract.
Oh, he got $10 million?
Yeah, he got $10 million a year. Yeah,
it's probably 1 year.
Hold on, Nico and the Seal White pass catches.
You know what? As long as it works, buddy.
Hey, the little white suckers be getting in and out of their breaks, and they got hands. So I'm happy with that.
Houston sportsman Cooper Kupp will become our Julian Edelman.
I'm telling you.
Rodney Bryce said Kaylee should know if Kupp is worth picking up.
Yeah, he should.
Here go chill out, Mike. Can you check out Jackson Hall's tight end from Georgia Tech? We'll put that on the list.
Is he white? Because somebody who that was that's in our fan base says got to be white.
Bishop.
White tight end
better. White tight end better.
That's Bishop. So to put it.
Of that, I know that's not on our thing. What do we think will happen with Dog? You think he makes it?
I think it would have to be post June 1st. We'll see.
No, I'm just saying as far as fitting because he don't fit the swarm.
Yeah, he's white.
Okay.
I mean, it all depends on if CJ gonna ride for him or not.
I mean, your OC is a tight ends coach,
right?
So he's gonna make the final assessment if he's
right.
coaching.
That's it. I'm just saying, just you think he make it?
I
have him on my list, but
all depends on if he understands what the coach is trying to do and he actually picks it up. We'll find out sooner or later.
So
what won't happen to the training camp?
Yeah. So Hawes is a good blocker, but not the best receiver. Did something happen? We go from Stephon Diggs to all white wide receivers. I mean, hey, we making moves, man. We making moves to build this team out, and I think to make this team more balanced. Rodney said Hawes is a breed.
I can tell you what happened. The knee grows gave out.
Oh wow.
Damn. Well, she talking about Tank Dell, and we still got the knee killer on the roster.
Hey, I'm not talking about just saying. I was talking.
Oh, you talking about Stephon Diggs too?
Yeah, I said the knee grows plural.
Hey,
knee grows.
Let me say that knee is working well because he's show handling that ass from Cardi B.
Right.
You don't need your knee for that.
And the rodeo.
She can ride that. No. She can ride that. You know.
You need your knees, partner. I don't know.
Hold on. Let me say this. She can ride it, but that ass hanging over on her and slapping that knee. So I don't know what you talking about.
You can just sit up like Jules is right there. That's all.
All right, we get too far in the weeds, y'all. Let's go ahead and put a cap on it. But yeah, we got
Yeah, we got to
the
get him off the practice squad.
The Texans have made a plethora of moves, a myriad of moves, and I kind of think they're moving in the right direction. Me personally, I think that they are resetting, reestablishing the culture. I think D'Amico has done an excellent job establishing the culture on the defensive side of the football. And I think that this moment and opportunity now in this year, they're able to reset the culture and reset the mentality of the offensive side of the football to match the defensive side of the football. D'Amico, in his introductory press conference, has always stated how he wants the offense to be as nasty and wants to be physical and tough. And he preached the swarm mentality in these last 2 years. Even though the offense played pretty well CJ's rookie year, they weren't swarming. We still go back to the Broncos game when CJ got into it with the linebacker, and it took 5 minutes for Shaq Mason or whoever to come in and defend CJ. We saw all this past year CJ get abused out of bounds, running out of bounds, getting people all up in his face, and no offensive linemen, no linemen, no receivers, no tight ends, nobody coming to his defense. I think that all ends starting this year. So shout out to D'Amico Ryans and Nick Casario and the moves that they're making. Nick Caley as well for the moves that they're making, rebuilding and rebranding this Texans offense and this Texan team in general. So hold on. What do we say if we see Cardi B hanging out with our new wide receivers? Get her the fuck away. That's what we say. Terrence Ferguson, I understand. But let me say this. I don't see, you know what? Let's just jump into it because we talking about it. I'm gonna go ahead and pull it up. We're gonna do a quick mock draft, people. This is the post Laramie Tunsil trade. Everybody can see, correct?
Yes.
This is the post Laramie Tunsil. We're gonna do a little group mock draft. We'll make it fast.
But AD, before we do that, do we think about does the strategy change now based on moves that have been made?
So do I think that the Texans still target a wide receiver in this draft? Yes,
of course.
I'm saying, let me put it this way: priority. Does the priority of the strategy change from wide receiver DT?
I don't think I think the priority has always been the same as far as wide receiver, offensive line early. Regardless of however you switch it up, I think that's been the Texans' priority as they're going to take. I know I've said it before, they're going to take BPA, but I think for us fans, the priority has always been wide receiver, offensive line. And I don't think them trading for Christian Kirk changes them wanting to take a wide receiver if there's one available. Again, we talked about Matthew Golden, Luther Burden, and Emeka Ibuka. All of those guys if one of those three are available at 25, it's gonna be hard as hell to trade down or pass on them and not take one of those guys at 25. Same thing with offensive line. If Membu or Membao is there, and if Membao is there, if Josh Simmons is there, if Kelvin Banks is there at 25, it's gonna be hard as hell for the Texans. Now Donovan Jackson, I'm just me personally. I think he's more of a second round pick than he is a first round pick. And that's just me personally. Yeah. But if same thing with the guard from Arizona, I think he's more of a Jonah. I think he's more of an early second round pick. Trading up Limbaugh Banks would be worth it.
But I think the conversation that she was having because we lost three offensive guys, three starters. Is a situation. I think that's the conversation she's trying to have.
Right. It's like if those guys are there at 25, what is the priority now? Because when you had Tunsil and even though we talked about Shaq Mason was still here, you would think of it a little different. Now that you don't have a Laramie, you have Titus, as far as we know. and those guys there and wide receivers there, do you sit back and say, wide receiver, I still go with that 25, or either move up a
So
few ticks, or do you say, let me get one of these tackles or a guard? Because it's not like this draft is full of. Here's the thing: this draft is full of a bunch of starters, in my opinion, and stars. So, which is a good thing to me.
mhm.
Less hit and miss opportunity, as far as I'm concerned. So, I was just saying this: what do you think 25 would be if wide receivers that we think are worthy of 25 and O linemen are there at 25? I feel like it changes now because we do have holes. Whereas in free agency, you did address at least one. Christian Kirk is going to be on the roster based on his salary.
Yeah, I mean, you got two receivers for sure, but
Do
you
you say?
always, but you,
Go ahead.
so you don't have Stephon Diggs is gone, so you don't have that anymore. And as far as talent, on the receiver room, you still hope with Mitchie, you still hope with Hutchinson, but you still need to bring in another guy. I know they brought in Barrios, I know they brought in Watson, but I still feel like you still need to get another weapon early. Regardless if it's in the first or the second round. You got 2 second-round picks now. Oh no, I'm sorry, 2 third-round picks now. And you can move up in the second round if you wanted to get another guy. But I think that early you're going to take a look at the wide receiving position. I personally think that after those first three, I know a lot of people are high on Trey Harris, a lot of people are high on McMillan. We didn't even talk about Ted McMillan. Ted McMillan, I feel like is similar
Oh,
to
he's top
Nico
10.
Collins.
He's top
He's
10.
top, he's top 10, but
He's starting to slide, we
he's
think.
starting to slide because one, he didn't do anything at the combine. You know how it's overreaction when you don't work out at the combine. And if he comes out at his pro day and he doesn't run the time that he's supposed to run, or he doesn't look as fluid, and because on the tape doesn't show a lot of separation. The tape, he makes plays, but again, he doesn't show a lot of separation. And if he ends up at that pro day and runs like a low 4.5 or something like that, then it makes he may slide a little bit. But I think Golden has positioned himself to, outside of Travis Hunter, of course, who I think may slide as well. So we will see. But I think again, Swan, I agree, he's a top 10 talent in this draft. But there's just like we all think Kelvin Banks is a top 10 talent in this draft. And there's mocks and there's people saying that he may slide all the way to 25. So though the draft is fluid and things
Yeah.
can change on a drop of a dime, because we all thought for sure that doggone Shadur Sanders was gonna be in the top 5. And now some people are saying Shadur not even the first round pick. So
So for this mock job, let's just do best player
best
available.
player available. Yeah, we're
And
just
then,
gonna do
and then
Okay.
we got a lot of draft going forward because I do want to talk about the draft strategy about the losing 3 O linemen.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see by next week if they address another O lineman.
Hey, before you hit it, yeah, you got it on fast. Good.
Yeah, I got it fast. Yeah, I
And
know. Yeah, I got it on fast. We getting up out of here.
right, and see if they pull another move for a guard. If they don't get another guard by the time we do our next show, we definitely need to dive into the strategy about prioritizing the O line or just the strategy of losing three guys and replacing them going forward.
Yeah. Brandon says it's likely they grab a high round wide receiver and a low round wide receiver. One thing about Golden is we can tell the Jags we drafted a wide receiver with a faster 40 than BTJ.
Yeah, Anthony Johnson Jr.
Yeah. So let's
roll with it.
Let's go. And I will start the draft. And of course, Tennessee does Tennessee shit, and they don't take a quarterback. I love it. And look at what Kelvin Banks. So we got all these offers.
Oh yeah, we taking that trade.
We taking it. This come on.
No, we taking that trade.
That ain't realistic.
Nope.
So that ain't realistic. Ain't nobody about to give up their whole damn draft after we just traded y'all. They gonna give up the whole damn draft.
Yeah.
So let's redo the Laramie Tunsil trade. Laramie Tunsil and the picks y'all gave us, and we include 25, and y'all give us all this.
Yeah.
So
Y'all go
basically,
for it.
So look at it. We got we already got their 2026 fourth round pick. So we got
And
2
second round
more
pick.
and a second round pick. So they basically give it a no.
Yeah, that's not realistic.
We just gonna
Still
go.
take it.
No.
Why not have fun with this?
No, we take
Nah,
it right now. We just gonna take
You
it.
know they not trading with us.
No,
nah.
we just gonna take it as
Have
it.
fun.
And I'm mad because look who got picked right before we got there.
Kevin Banks.
Kelvin.
That's what I said.
So who's available? Josh Simmons.
Hold on, I want to see where. Damn, Tyler. That's another one. If he's there, I'm taking him at 25.
Well,
Tyler.
you know, before the combine, he was.
I'll take Michigan Loveland at 25.
Yeah, Burden. So Burden went to Cincinnati. Grant went to Atlanta. That was high.
Damn, that's hot pick.
Genty to the Colts.
Yeah, Genty to the Colts. That's wild. Membo to Miami. Nolan to Dallas. Barron. Damn. Hunter slid all the way to Chicago at 10. Loveland went to 7. McMillan went to the Raiders. I'm sorry. Campbell went to New England. I think this is for conclusion, but Shadur was the pick over Cam Ward for the Browns, which is wild. And then Cam Ward went to the Giants, and then Carter went to Tennessee. But here we are at 25 for the Texans. And who do we have on board for us? We got
Josh Simmons.
Josh Simmons is there. Mikael Williams. That's interesting.
Ooh, he ran his pro day today. Ugh.
Yeah. Malachi Starks is a lot of people, but I think of course. Then you got Matthew Golden is there.
Ooh. We don't need a safety, so we can skip Nick.
Yeah. Amari Hampton.
See, hold on. I had to mess with you. It took you a moment to catch that.
Hey,
but I took a veteran on this squad right now. Yeah.
So I'm gonna be honest with you. My choice would be Josh Simmons in this moment.
Yes, as much as it hurts, I would go Josh. As much as it hurts, pass on Golden.
Who's the guard? Who's the top rated guard?
I'm gonna give you that. I'm gonna have to give you that in the DM. I'm gonna send you that. I can't put it in the public yet because when I put it in the public, they don't take them, so I gotta stay quiet for a little bit.
Okay. I was gonna pick Josh before I changed my mind.
Jules, who did you say?
Who's the top rated guard?
Interior offensive lineman Zabel.
Never mind then. I'm gonna go ahead.
Mike.
Yeah, if we were blown away by a trade offer, I'd be like, hey, but not really in this situation. As intrigued as I am with Golden there, I'm really tempted.
I am.
Okay, if we ain't gonna do this because I'm gonna keep thinking about it.
I want Golden.
And are we sure Titus and Fisher aren't going to be the bookend tackles?
As of now, we have 2 tackles. As of now, one left, one right.
We got 1 tackle for sure. That other one is possible.
Who is possible?
That's where we differ.
All right.
I'm Golden.
Okay, his thing is, if you put it this way, if you take Josh, that keeps the pressure on Titus. That you go have to, if you want to keep that position, you have to ball your ass out. I need the insurance policy because Titus has he played a full season yet?
No.
Yeah,
okay.
No, he didn't. He hasn't. So what we doing? Simmons or Golden?
I want Golden.
Simmons.
Mike.
I'm going Golden.
Hurts my heart, Swan. I'm gonna go with you, and I know it's gonna make you happy. We're gonna go Matthew Golden at 25.
He's a bigger need for me.
Okay.
It's not a bigger need, it's BPA, but I'm not sure what none of us are exactly sure what the O-line is going to look like. So Royals right before us.
Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to see.
We already took Golden, so
okay, but Membo was right there. I'm sorry, Embo is there. Embo is there.
There we go.
Yeah.
Embo.
Run it in.
Embo.
Purdue.
Who is that?
Marcus. Inside Purdue. Oh, it's interior number 50.
Draft AD. Marcus.
Right there. He's the third.
I know that, Swan. Hold on.
He's going to see other thing right now.
Oh Lord.
Like we got all day on the goddamn podcast.
Yeah, he's the main one talking about. Let's hurry up.
Right. But look what Simmons went, man. Goddamn Kansas City.
I told y'all to take him.
Hey, we got mad at Xavier Worthy. It happens.
All right, so
Ooh,
y'all
hold
want to
hold up. Ooh, Mason
and here we
Taylor.
go, Jonah.
Oh, John. Ooh.
I'm not
Okay.
high on Mason Taylor. I'm sorry,
Oh, hell no.
but you want
Hold up.
Jonah? Y'all
Hold
want
up. Before you
Jonah
do
or
that, hold up.
Marcus?
Don't do it. Hold up. Scroll up a little bit more or down, however you want to do it. No, up. Keep going. Okay.
That's it.
I just wanted to see where Travion was. Running back.
Oh, he gone. I think he gone already.
Damn.
Mhm.
Already?
Yeah, he gone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
there's
gone.
some first round buzz around him.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think he
So
goes.
do
in
we
the
go
first
Jonah?
year.
And I seen his film, or do we go Imbo,
Marcus.
which I've seen him?
I'm going Marcus,
I like the Purdue guy.
but I'm not mad at either.
Yeah. Okay, we'll go here.
We're gonna go Marcus. We're gonna pass on Jonah. I know a lot of people love Jonah,
I do.
but we're
I
gonna
love them
pass.
both.
Yeah, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
for a tape, you can't go wrong.
All right. You got a trade from Detroit. I'm not
Nope.
trading to the 4th round.
Yeah.
Y'all tripping. Defensive line, Alfred Collins.
I like Collins.
There. Or do they go Jaden Higgins or
I was looking at Jaden Higgins there.
Mike? What do you got?
I got defense tackle.
Keep
Scroll
going
down a
down.
little further. Yeah, scroll down a little further.
You got Isaiah Bond is still there.
Stay the hell away from Walker.
You got
Okay, now they're going down too far.
Yeah,
That's
stay away from
you
that.
back. You go back up. Yeah. So
Stay
do we
away
go
from that liar
Alfred or do we
Bond.
go
too.
Jaden Higgins?
I like Collins.
I do. Now I know some people gonna say that we don't need no D tackle, but hey, go to take him. Or do we go Xavier Watt? Yeah, never mind.
The whole thing about it, even our D tackles, none of them are here for 2 or 3 years.
Right, and that's what I'm looking at. Is anybody here? I want to be able to transition.
Right, I think that's
Mike.
Cheap labor.
So Jules is saying AC Swan. What are you saying?
Shit. I'm so busy. Like our boy Royal said, I like being greedy so bad.
Mm-hmm. Mike, what you got?
Yeah, I don't like to join the Texas people that much, but
go after it.
Collins is the BPA here.
right.
Yeah,
All right,
go for it.
Going after Collins.
Here we go.
Look at us smoking the draft right now. I'm still not trading back into the 4th round. I'm not doing that for nobody. There we go. Is this the all Texas draft? What the hell is going on?
It sure is. We're going Isaiah Bond.
I don't know.
Well, no, hold up. Do we see? Scroll down a little bit because that's 89. Keep going.
Yeah, now this is somebody I like.
Ooh.
Dylan Sampson is a guy that I really like.
Go to running backs.
Running back. I have some ideas on running backs because I like.
Then you got Tootin there as well.
I get him. Tootin. I like.
Tootin ain't gonna be there.
I know. So we go Tootin. I don't want Scatterboo.
You know who I want.
Hell no.
You know what running back I want.
I know you want Tootin, but are we doing running back or are we doing Isaiah?
Let's go running.
Let's look at tight end too.
You want to look at tight end?
Yeah.
I think we got time for tight end.
I'm not taking.
Because we're not going all Texas. That's 92. We could. I ain't got a problem with it because I think he's worth it.
And he can block.
Yep. So
all right, let's go running back.
His thing is, I'm gonna pass up on Bond because I already got the speed guy with Matthew. Let's go tight end because there's some good running backs still to be had.
I'm going to Virginia Tech.
I'm going Tootin because I know he's not gonna do that in 160.
Ain't gonna be there.
Okay, go for it,
Mike.
Yeah, I would say Tootin.
All right, we're gonna go Tootin. Still wasn't a bad grade.
Because we got to wait so long to our next draft because we trade our 4th round pick. So
yeah, we don't pick into the 5th round, so got a little minute.
Everything we're doing now is to help the offense this year and next year.
No, I'm not doing that trade. Not doing that either. So you got Peebles, defensive line from Virginia Tech. Do we go quarterback? Trevor Etienne is another running back. That's interesting.
He's interesting.
Yes, he is. He's a receiving back.
Yeah, he didn't show like his brother has, but he's all right.
What you
hold up.
go?
Okay, slow down. Hold up. Go back. Yeah, go scroll up.
Scroll up or down, like going to the
Now,
top or the
top.
bottom.
Go to the bottom. I mean, top. Yeah, you know what I mean.
No, we don't.
You know, I'm trying to see who's below. So,
Keep scrolling.
because you had one. Yeah, thank you. How do you feel about Mitchell
Jerry.
Evans?
Who?
Mitchell Evans, Notre Dame.
Can he block?
You got Baron Sorrell still there. Ricky White.
Oh, I like Clay Webb. I was told he's underrated.
He may be a pick at 241. The way this draft is right now.
Oh,
But what we're looking at, because
no, we're not doing linebacker.
Yeah, give me Dylan Gabriel.
Hell no. We are not wasting no goddamn pick on no damn backup quarterback.
all right. So who you want, Mike? Because I'm ready to go.
As I say, let's keep going down.
I like
Because this is pick 166 we had, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got
I'm
Jackson.
trying to see everybody that gets up to 166 and then determine which one is the better pick. Tight end, that's what I'm saying.
Amari Hampton was gone, brother.
Yeah.
We just did a running back.
Barry said we got too many linemen.
No, we don't.
He said more about technique bad.
Ish. We gotta pick somebody else.
Coaches for.
All right.
Yeah, I said I'm trying to see who the rest of the folks were.
Right now you're getting down in the weeds of it.
Right, but we're picking 166, so I'm trying to see everybody who is in that range.
Yeah,
We got Ricky White there. Let's see.
My vote would be for either Mitchell Evans or the top safety.
Okay, 60. Yeah.
So you want Jonas Sanker?
I'm cool with it.
Jules? Safety man?
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Swan, you good with the
Yeah, I'm
safety?
good. Yeah.
Jonas Sanker. We'll do some research on Jonas Sanker, y'all.
Yeah.
Apparently we got an A for it.
Yeah, I mean, look at the draft right now. Shit, we damn near aces.
I was trying to give me a tackle and a tight end.
Jake Majors. They don't want too many Texas players, sir.
No.
Go back up. Yeah.
It don't hurt taking an Alabama edge on
No.
Justin Wally.
I like him. I like the corner.
Hold up. Let's look at Logan Brown. Tackle. Ooh, Nick Nash. Hold up.
Nick Nash, okay.
Yeah. Hold up now.
Yeah, there we go. Luke Lachey.
I mean, he's Iowa, so we're assuming tight end, but it's not like his, We're looking at tackles right now. So, I mean, we did not pick a tackle in here. Nowhere in hell we got to come out this draft without a tackle.
I like the corner.
No.
I like Muhammad too. I like Muhammad. I like
Logan Brown. I've picked and looked at his RAS and so forth. I'm Logan Brown.
I'm the corner. I'm in the corner.
Mike, what you got?
Yeah, I'll go to corner.
All right, Justin Wally is the pick.
I know you want to tackle Swan. I know you want.
Hold up, we're gonna go in the draft and not come out with a tackle.
So
we got 3 spots. Hold on, we got 3 spots.
Again, we don't know. We don't know if they're gonna trade them or draft. Not draft, but trade or make a move in free agency for somebody. We don't know.
But the automatic is we have picks and guys are there, and we did not take one.
We had a chance to take a tackle. Y'all wanted to get Bowden. We could have took Josh Simmons. We could have took Josh Simmons, and we could have backdoored
Isaiah Bond later on.
So y'all voted on that shit. I said my original pick was Josh Simmons.
I'm not a Bond guy.
Me either.
I'm not a Barnes.
Let's see. Barnes was available. Who was the other one that was
Embarrassing.
Jalen was available?
That's
Jaden, sorry. Jaden
that's
was
Dr.
available.
Barry.
Let me
That's
say
my,
this.
that's my point. Dr. Barry,
Let me
that's my
say,
point.
hold on. Let me say this to Texas Tangent and Kobe. Telling you this right now, brother. Ain't no way in hell this was gonna be no all Texas draft. Y'all got life totally fucked up. If y'all think I was about to draft Texas players,
Hey,
hell no.
Philadelphia did it, and they won Super Bowl with Georgia players.
Yeah, with
Yes, we
Georgia.
did.
Georgia wins national championships
We was that close.
Hey,
recently.
We was that close.
at least we should.
Almost doesn't
Hey,
count.
at least we in the
dude.
playoff. Final four.
That's
Right.
fine. That's fine.
As Corey said, I agree with him. That's my take
You
right now.
already got
And shout out to Stressens.
Who's
got-
the two tackles already?
We got Blake Fisher and we
And
have
We got who else?
and you got
Howard.
Titus Howard.
Oh, okay.
Howard's been solid.
We're gonna have the Titus Howard conversation next
We
week.
will. It's gonna be a long conversation.
It's gonna be a good conversation too. Say what we grabbing a safety for. Have you depth?
Yep.
Special teams, you know.
Did you not see
Everybody-
last year what happened?
Eric Murray gone. We'll know. We'll know if.
Did we not have Chris Boyd on that goddamn field?
Ooh, get him off.
We'll know Ward's
So-
coming back.
Let me
Thank you.
say
We
this.
need a line. You can't.
So
I
let
mean,
me say this too, because I think this is something that I know Barry talked about, and I'm gonna start championing as well. Is that we have players in house. First of all, we just re-signed Zach Thomas. I forgot to put that graphic up.
Swing
We
tackle.
just re-signed Zach Thomas as well, who's tackle guard, could be swing tackle, whatever, could play in a pinch. But at the end of the day, you still have guys like Ladarius Henderson, who I feel like strong. I really do like Ladarius Henderson. He brings the nasty attitude. He's a guy that can potentially start for you. So he's a guy. Zach Thomas is a guy that can play inside. You just signed Tomlinson, Lakin Tomlinson, to be the vet guy on the offensive line, interior offensive line. You still have Juice Scruggs. You still have Jared Patterson. And everybody fucking loves Jared Patterson for whatever reason. You still have these guys on the roster. So I understand. And then in this draft, in this scenario, we drafted another guard. So the biggest need again, and everybody want to talk about, is the interior. Titus Howard, natural position is tackle. Titus Howard, never being a super team player, never got the opportunity to play tackle a full season. And so now this is his opportunity, and we'll have a conversation about Titus Howard. Does Titus Howard step up? Does this change Titus Howard's attitude? Does this make Titus Howard not lazy? All of these things that we talk about Titus Howard. Does this change things? So we, again, this was a quick mock draft. This was, almost BPA, even though Josh Simmons was the BPA and we passed on him. I'm still talking about it because I would have rather had Josh Simmons over Mbo or Mbo, however y'all say it. Particularly because, again, I think that if you need to, you can play him inside, move him out, or vice versa. If you feel like he's better out, then you keep him out and move Titus in. Either way.
I guess my thing
Yeah,
is,
with Josh Simmons.
we have a bunch of guys who are some possibles, some projects to me. I would like to come out this draft with a tackle that's considered a blue chip guy. That's just me.
Well,
I love it. I am hooked all day long, and I want Golden. But there's
only two to me, honestly. There's two that I feel like three. There's three. You have Simmons, who's again he's Bursert is talking about the Simmons injury. Again, if Simmons didn't have this knee injury, he would have been the first tackle taken. He probably would have been over Campbell. But again, I think Campbell is a guard. He's not a tackle. Kelvin Banks, he was one pick before us. I think it would have been a no-brainer if Kelvin Banks was there, that everybody would have said Kelvin Banks. Mm-hmm. Kelvin Banks, I think Membo Armand is another one from Missouri. I think he's a blue chipper guy, if you want to say that. So those are the ones that if you were talking about blue chip talent at tackle, those would be the guys. So again, our mom was gone, Kelvin Banks was gone, Josh Simmons was there, and we voted for Matthew Golden. But again, this is the first of a plethora of mock drafts. We are just getting started, people. So this is not the end all be all. And if y'all vote, if y'all will put a poll out, if y'all want us to do a weekly mock draft on the pod, we'll do one on the pod every week. But again, Houston sports fan, this draft is so unpredictable. Anybody could slide down to 25. I totally agree with
Yeah,
this.
it's flat.
It can go a myriad of ways. It can go to a multitude of ways. So, that gotta happen. So again, man, I shout out to the right at the 500 people watching us live. We appreciate y'all all for joining us. Y'all go ahead and like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. We're gonna talk about it. If something go down, we're gonna talk about it. Houston Texans still have yet to finish off their roster, so there's a lot of moves yet to be made. So we will see what happens between now and next Wednesday. We come in and we didn't even talk about Tyler Booker. I'm not touching Tyler Booker, and that's just me.
Lord, I knew you would do that.
Because and it's not even the thing about Alabama is that I believe, because the question is, would you do it over Simmons? I'm not touching Tyler Booker over Josh Simmons. I'm taking Josh Simmons all day long. We don't need to invest day 1, 2 interior offensive line, draft LT high, and play at guard.
That's where Donovan Jackson comes in. That he can play tackle and guard.
Yeah, but I'm
just saying that they look at that versatility thing.
I want no goddamn versatility.
And he do. And he went to he was born and raised in Houston.
Yeah, so again, fuck versatility. Give me a guy who could play tackle. But again, man, J Mag, do move up. Hey, we'll talk about that next week. When we go into the Titus Howard conversation, we'll talk more about that as well. But appreciate Alfredo. Appreciate you, man. But again, shout out to everybody that was in the chat. J Mac, Larry, Houston sports fan, Berserk, Texas Tangent, Barrett, Kobe, Rodney Bryce, Brandon, keep Bab, shout out Bab, as well. Cabrons, yeah, shout out Barrett, DQ as well. Going down the list. Houston sports fan Yvonne,
Big Sarge,
Big Sarge, Texans fan in rehab as well. Killer Cal, Larry Etienne, Senior Josh, King Foka, Sal, the regulars as we call them.
We appreciate all y'all.
We appreciate all y'all for coming in, joining us. Shout out to everybody, Coach Dante, Frank Z, Daniel Berry Sports, Cash Style, DJ Amazings as well, Jamal Sports. Y'all know him as Ball with Jamal. Appreciate all y'all coming in, man, and Britt, here go Britt, late as always. Britt, but shout out to everybody, man, joining the chat. We appreciate y'all for joining us on this episode, and we will see y'all next week where we have the whole Titus Howard conundrum, the Titus Howard debate. We'll talk about it. But again, shout out to my co-host Mike G, Auntie Swan, Jules. This is your boy AD signing off, and we'll see y'all when we see y'all, man. Peace.